Hey guys, welcome to another Lunar Beaches crypto update. I am David, and today I am looking at the Bitcoin price chart on the weekly. Starting out on the weekly, I just want to look at kind of a macro trend real quick, and I wanted to show you guys a little something called Elliott wave theory. There's there's a lot to Elliott wave theory, but right now I'm gonna do just like a simple 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, which would be starting from the bottom. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, a lot of people think that this is it. This is 5. 5 was the top, and then that's it. We are in a bear market, and all we are waiting for is for this bounce to come in, come up, and then roll over so that we have completed a retracement and then a rollover, and then we're in a bear market. We're already in a bear market by this theory, so who knows? We'll see come future times, whatever. All right, another thing, but what I want to do is point out that this whole piece right here, this whole sideways action, could be your 4 pullback, because typically pullbacks are going to be roughly the same size on these larger time frames. So we could see this 5 actually pull up a little bit above here, and we do get that final blow off top. Now, the only reason why I think that this is a possibility, and it's really the only reason, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is fundamentals. The fundamentals on Bitcoin are amazing. But what I'm seeing on this chart is a possible, what is called, I think it's an expanded flat, or a running flat. It's one of those two, an expanded flat or a running flat. And what that basically is when price comes up and we come up into this channel, this can be seen as a corrective wave, right? So when we're coming up and we come in this channel, this is just a correction to push us up further. Now, this can actually be supported if we dive deep into Elliott wave theory and we count these waves inside of this channel. I believe in a running flat, it's 3, 3, 5. So what that means, that those are wave counts, right? Those are impulse waves and wave counts. So for this, I want to go down to the daily, and I just want to show you this right here. And yes, I'm doing this on my phone because I have not 9 to 5, but I have a real job, a real job that I got to attend to, or that I have to do so I can make money to put into crypto. So what I want to show you is a 3, 3, 5, which I'm going to have to use one of these. I'll just use ABCs as my 1, 2, 3s. Okay, so what we have is 1 big move up, pull down, and then your third leg up, right? Then, same deal. We have actually, I think it's correction. Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, this is actually 1, 2, 3 right there. There's your first 3, because it starts at the beginning of the correction. That's my bad. Then we have, come on. I wish they had like a 1, 2, 3 on here instead of ABC. Then we have an A, B, C, or another 1, 2, 3. And then we zoom in, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to end this corrective pattern. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that is what I'm hoping for. I think if it's I think if this bottom doesn't come in, I believe that's an expanded flat. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to go back and look at it's either an expanded or a running flat. So it's one of those two. So with this playing out like this, with your 335, that could be a strong indicator that we are going to hit a bottom, especially if we hit a bottom below or above this C wave right here, then that could be a strong indicator that this thing will start to move up. Now we can go ahead and take a look at the RSI, and we're significantly bottomed out. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, see, we're pretty low on the RSI on the weekly. Let's look at price action in the history. It has gotten lower in a bear market. Now, if this was to continue, I wouldn't expect this RSI on the weekly to go much lower. Maybe right here, but not much lower than it is right now if we are to see that final push up. So right now, it's really just a wait and see game. We're kind of just waiting to see what happens with this area right here. We're trying to see if we get a nice double bounce on the daily. So right now, we've already come down. Right now, we've already got this nice long wick. This is a hammer candlestick pattern, and to be able to clarify that as a true hammer stick pattern, this candle body close right here has to end up in between the 0 and the 0.382. It does, so that is confirmed as a hammer, and hammers typically are the start of a reversal. That doesn't mean that we cannot get a double bounce out of here, right? And then you got your neckline, you break that neckline, and you're off and away. So that's where I'm standing right now. I'm thinking that we're going to be seeing that double bottom here soon, obviously, and based off of previous fractals, it does look like that's the type of move that we will make. And with the markets just being kind of indecisive and not knowing what to really do at this point, I do expect price action to be a little bit boring over the next week or two, maybe even a month. And then we really start getting on out of here. Now, so we have those two scenarios. Either we can break up and get on out of here, or we can roll over. And let's just go ahead and throw a Fibonacci on here. And this is when I would start to get a little bit, this is where I would start, especially if altcoins start taking off as Bitcoin is retracing. If we get that double bounce in here and then Bitcoin starts to retrace, and we get up in this area right here between the 0.5 and the 702 and the 0.702, once we get into that area, I'm thinking about taking profits out of everything. So, and especially if we start, kind of having a rough time up here and then we break down, well, then I think that that's going to be all she wrote. And then we will start, it'll be official that we are in a bear market if we don't break this retrace. The only thing after that, the only thing that would say, okay, maybe we're not in a retrace and we are going to keep moving forward, is if we see this retrace come up and break through these zones and keep on going. So, but it has to break through this zone, especially the 0.702. We've got to get through that right there, and then we can get moving on. So that's just where I'm looking at right now. I'm waiting for that double bounce to come in. I'm hoping for a double bounce. We don't really want to go lower than here, not too much lower anyway. We definitely don't want to go lower than here, back here. We definitely don't want to go lower than that, because once we go lower than that, we break structure, and that could be all she wrote. Now, in the expanded, I think it's the expanded flat or the running flat. I hate that I should have looked it up before I got in here, but it's one of those two. You can look it up for yourselves. But in one of those scenarios, you do see price inside this channel here. Let me go ahead and get rid of these drawings so we can see. Now I am going to do, I'm just going to draw the quick. So in one of those two, you do have price come up. It hits that line, come down, hits that line, comes up, and then it gets above this line, as it did. We did create a new all-time high. And then there's a possibility that it comes down below this line. Negate this, act like this touched the line. But then we can go below this line, and then we can see a bounce up. So there's numerous possibilities of anything. Anything can happen. But once we break below here, about 27,000, I would probably get out of the market, or at least have cash on the hand to start buying more dips. And yeah, I mean, that would just be it now. So, but I think we will see a retrace in the Bitcoin price before any of that happens. Any more downtrend down below this level here, before we see, well, maybe a little bit below here, but we will see that retrace come up and then bounce down. And that would probably be a dead cat bounce. So take this information with how you will. It's not financial advice. I'm just trying to let you guys know where I am thinking right now this market is heading. And if we go on the daily and we look at that RSI, we have clearly bottomed out pretty low, especially when compared to previous marks. Oh, I do want to point out just one more thing. So RSI, very low there. RSI, very low here, right? And then also in those points, we have these spikes in volume. And what that really shows is that there's a lot of trading going on. But anytime we have these spikes, we tend to have a reversal. We have a spike on this downtrend, and then we have a reversal to continue up. Then we have this spike on this downtrend, consolidate for a couple months, and then we move up. And then we have coming down here, we have these spikes indicating anytime there's high trade volume, it usually indicates a reversal. So this spike right here, these spikes right here indicated we were reversing to the downside, because really the market was already going pretty crazy, you know. So, and then we have this spike, large spike right here during the C19 sell-off, and then Bitcoin just went rampaging after that. So, and now you also can combine that with the lower RSI, the low RSI, and then prices went ham. So, but anyway, that's all I got for you guys in this video. It's not financial advice. Please do your own research. Hit that like and subscribe button if you like the content that you just saw. Love you guys. See you later, beach bums.